What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Serious Gentlemen Gaming Podcast for World of Warcraft Legion. I'm your host, Zista, aka Dom. With me, my co-host, Taryn.
Hey, everybody, what's going on?
How's it going? Whew. Lots and lots of information here.
They talked for a good while.
They did.
That.
So, what are you most excited for?
Oh, God. It's either between the artifact weapons or I think the Demon Hunter class. You know, being able to tank in that class is going to be amazing.
The Demon Hunter's really been kind of a stir all over the internet lately. Who does not want to be Illidan?
I know. I mean, he's been around since, the beginning of the game, and then just fighting him in BT, that was the raid that made the game for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, how many years have we heard about a Demon Hunter class coming?
Since Burning Crusade.
I mean, it's been talked about over and over again, and it's what everybody's wanted.
Yep.
So what are you looking forward to?
I don't really know. All of it. I'm looking forward to new zones. I like new zones, whatever. I did not exactly like all the Draenor ones. Even though my issue with it is I couldn't wrap my head around how different they were from Burning Crusade, because I'm in the zones trying to match up where they were. Okay, so here's where this was in the other one, but the terrain looks absolutely nothing like it, and I know the planet was ripped apart and everything, but I couldn't physically align terrain in my mind. It didn't make sense to me. So I had a lot of issues with that, but I don't know, the Tomb of Sargeras is just a lot of content like that is what I'm looking forward to. They said that they're going to emphasize, dungeons. There's going to be a lot more of them and stuff like that. They didn't announce a whole lot, but I think they announced, 6?
Dungeons, I think there was 9 total.
Was there 9? Okay.
Yeah, 9 total.
Okay. So
and that's with bringing back the Violet Hold is one that's already been done. I don't know what changes will be to that.
I'm sure that's going to be drastically different. They said that there's going to be dark secrets locked in. I have a feeling that there's going to be a whole basement subsection to this place.
Yeah,
and
I think there's going to be a whole area we just haven't seen yet or gone into. It won't be the circular room where the bosses just keep coming.
Yeah. So.
I mean, 9 dungeons to start the expansion, and then what is there? Two raids with 17 bosses total.
Yeah,
That's
one raid. One raid
content.
alone has 10 bosses in it.
Yeah. It's Suramar Palace. So Suramar Palace has 10 bosses total, and I mean, you're talking, we don't know when the content releases are, but if these are the first 2 raids we're seeing at the beginning of the X-Pack, there's going to be more than enough for everybody to do once they hit level 110.
Yeah. I mean, what were you thinking when we had the little teaser trailer going on?
I mean, honestly, I was just blown away by, just the graphics itself. I mean, the stuff they can do with CGI now and the way they make the game look. And, just seeing Gul'dan, he's got to be, as far as I remember in the game and every cinematic we had, the creepiest and just most evil-looking being we've had. And then when he just burst his power and it showed the tattoos, once I saw the tattoos, it was over. I knew it was Illidan. And I mean, the little kid in me, was freaking out because the first raid I ever did was at level 70. I just dinged 70 and, I hadn't even made it to 80 yet. I started playing the BC right before Wrath came out. So, Illidan's a big deal to me, the Warglaives and all that. But, I spent 8 hours in this raid because we kept wiping because of people who were level 80. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I was immediately hooked. So to see him again, that makes me suck that much more back into the game and the lore. How did Illidan? We know we banished him, but who knew he was locked away in a tomb this whole time by the Burning Legion?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. The body disappeared, after Burning Crusade.
Yeah.
A lot of people were speculating that we were going to see Illidan in Warlords of Draenor because it's a different timeline, and he may have not been, corrupted or not corrupted, but he may not have turned into a demon hunter. All this stuff. He may still have been a night elf.
Well, I mean, the thing about Illidan is everything he did was for his people. It wasn't ever to be malicious or to try to destroy
Right.
the world.
Right. So, you know, we don't know how things would have played out. We're clearly not stuck in the alternate Draenor timeline. We are still in present day, like back
Yes.
in our Azeroth.
Now, I guess that's my question. How is Khadgar getting us back from Draenor 30 years in the past to our present day Azeroth? Because that's going to be a big deal.
It is. I'm sure that that's going to be a lot of the bridge like the bridge content that we're going to have between this the last patch here and going into the next expansion and into Legion. So I have a feeling we're gonna see a lot of that. And usually the world events, they tie the story up pretty well and explain why we're doing what we're doing. So
Now, they said the Tomb of Sargeras, right? That's where we're going to start, is the Tomb of Sargeras. That'll be the
the
pre-patch.
demon hunters will start there. Yes.
Well, they said, I could have swore in the intro, too, they said that that'll be the starting area prior to the expansion. So that'll be like the pre-patch.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a Tomb of Sargeras somewhere on Draenor that we don't know about? Because it's
No,
a
I
different
believe
timeline?
it's in the Broken Isles.
So that's all Broken Isles.
It's all Broken Isles.
So
yeah.
that's where we'll begin.
Yeah.
I'm
Did they
just trying to piece
mention?
together.
I didn't know. I don't know if I caught it, but did they mention exactly where the Broken Isles are located in terms of the world?
No, they didn't, and that's the big question. It's got to be in the South Sea somewhere. I mean, it's mentioned what they say. Warcraft 3 is where it came from, but
Yeah,
where
that's the
else
last
would
time
it
we've
be?
seen it is Warcraft 3. So,
Yeah, so the only place it can be is south, down by Pandaria somewhere,
yeah,
or close to the Maelstrom, maybe.
it could be.
I'm just not
I mean,
sure.
it could be off to the right and left of the continents as well. I know in the original, it was like the Dungeons and Dragons kind of manual that they had for a Warcraft style RPG game. They mentioned that to the east of Kalimdor and the west of the Eastern Kingdoms, or vice versa, whatever. I'm totally confused right now. But basically, the other side of the planet of Azeroth, that we don't know what kind of worlds are over there. So I don't know how canon that exactly is, but
Yeah,
you know, there might be more to this planet than what we currently know of, and I think it's a little unlikely, but it's possible. But so it could technically be off to the right or left somewhere.
no, and that's going to be the interesting thing, is because we're going to open up a portion of the map. I think it's going to expand what we see as far as just the overlay of the map, showing the different continents.
Right.
Like they did when they released Wrath. Like, it popped everything up top that everybody's like, well, what the hell's up there?
Yep.
You know, we've waited years for this stuff.
I mean, we have the world map right here, and so we have Azuna, Valshara, High Mountain, Stormheim, Suramar, and the Broken Shore. But this map to me looks way too much like Draenor. Just
You know what? That's funny that you say that, because it does. Now, looking at it like that, it does look like a broken Draenor.
yeah, it looks way too much like Draenor to me. Like, we just left Draenor, and this map looks almost exactly the same.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's a little nuts. But
Oh, man.
I don't know. So we had the feature overview cinematic, which
On
here
Draenor,
was
old rivals.
kind of incredible.
Ring Azeroth.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have any idea the Legion was coming at this point?
No, I didn't.
And while
You know, as
the
they
Iron
showed
Tide
the
was
progression,
quelled,
I didn't think it was going to be the Legion. I was trying to
they
figure
were
out,
but
how it was
servants
signed in. And when we saw this, I was thinking Karazhan is what was popping in my
Right.
head.
So do you think Karazhan may be a legacy content upgrade somewhere? You know how we've had like time walking and
what
things
was
like that.
2 months ago, they were talking about how they were cleaning up Karazhan, getting rid of cobwebs. They kept renaming it. I think that might have been a subtle hint in itself. You know, hey guys, something's going to happen here, and I believe it's going to be something important. I don't necessarily want to say it's a legacy thing, but I think it's definitely, something's going to happen that'll be key. Maybe we have to go back there and do some kind of questing through there.
Right.
But it just seems too significant for them to show off, and then for it to be nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So a lot of these zones just look amazing.
They look beautiful. I mean,
can't
graphically.
get over just how drastic a lot of the changes are again, because we just saw that here in Draenor, where like each zone is very drastic. You go from like the winter zone to like, you know, the Blade's Edge style place, Gorgrond right next to it, and it's just like, and then you have the Shadow Moon Valley, which looks so different than everything else, and they had a nice contrast. I didn't think we're gonna be able to do anything outstanding again, and here we are. It's just completely different.
Are they upgrading the engine, or what are they doing? Because from MOP, you know, MOP was the huge jump in technology, or at least what appears to be technology graphically, you know, to WAD, which was an improvement on that, and now this just looks so amazing and so much better. I mean, are they tweaking their engine? Are they redoing the whole thing for every expansion? How are they doing this?
Well, there's always upgrades to the end, like, you know, to the engine. They're constantly evolving it, but they are very limited still in their engine, which is the reason why we still have like 16 slot backpacks that they haven't upgraded, you know, because that is a technological limitation. So stuff like that is really what's holding the game back, and they would have to do like an engine overhaul from that. So we're not getting that this expansion. There's no mention of that whatsoever. But an engine without having an engine overhaul does not mean we can't increase graphics, increase polygons, you know, textures, anything like that. We can always, you know, they can always upgrade that kind of stuff. So.
And that was the big rumor over the last couple of days, especially on MMO Champ. There was a very long thread that talked about, they dubbed it WoW 2, and said that we're going to get an engine upgrade because of the new engine that they have for Overwatch.
Right.
So everybody was predicting that they would move everything from, you know, WoW's original engine over to this to make the transition into the next graphical age.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've done an amazing job with their engine. Their engine's what, 10 years old now, maybe a little bit older than that, and they've tweaked it and they've done amazing things with it.
Yep. So I guess the Demon Hunter here, we get only 2 specs.
I was very thrown off by this. I mean, honestly, when have we ever had a class come out? The Death Knight was the last heroic class that came out.
Yep.
And it had 3 specs, you know, 1 tank, 2 DPS. They went with 2 specs, a tank and a DPS. And I agree. I don't believe it makes sense for a Demon Hunter to be a healer in any way, shape, or form. It just doesn't fit the lore and, you know, how Illidan was utilizing them during BC.
Yeah.
God, what did I've got so many notes.
I mean, I think they could have gotten away with 4 specs. Druids have 4 specs.
Yes.
So I don't see why they couldn't have done that for Demon Hunter. They could have done 2 variations of DPS and 2 variations of tank.
Yeah, they could have. I just don't see, like, when they said have 2 tank specs, how can you have a separate tank spec that's gonna, you know, I just don't see how another tank spec would work. You know, how do you change up a tanking class? We already do it basically like my druid. You know, we roll it through the talents, and the different talents you select determine how you're going to play. More mitigation versus more healing, or so on and so forth. There's a big difference in the talents already themselves. So I just found it odd that they would even consider that when we really don't have that for any other class.
Yeah. I mean, some of these variations are incredible. Like, this class is really going to stick out.
I mean, just the ability and the character creation, you're going to really be able to separate yourself from everybody else. You won't have to look the same. I mean, every once in a while, you'll probably run into somebody who's got a very similar creation to you. But, I mean, the tattoos alone, you know, as long as the armor fits to where you can see the tattoos, I think it's going to be amazing. You know, everybody wants to be Illidan. Who doesn't want to be Illidan?
Yeah, I'm curious now if Demon Hunters are going to get the ability to, like, hide shirt.
That's a good question. And, you know, is the armor, is it a malware? I mean, if I was guessing, I would say male, because it's, you know, what do you got? Hunters and shaman that can wear mail, and that leaves an open slot to balance out the gear issue.
If you notice here, Demon Hunter available races are only Blood Elf and Night Elf.
Now, that doesn't surprise me, honestly, because, I mean, look at Illidan. He's a Night Elf, and it makes sense, and then it makes sense for it to transverse over to the Blood Elves. You know, they all have a very similar background. They all come from a long lineage. Then they split off and did their own thing throughout the lore. But um, the it just I don't see it fitting any other class.
Yeah.
Or race. Sorry.
And they very well could have retconned things because they're famous for doing that. But I'm glad they kept their integrity and did not. So this is the first class that is limited to one race per faction.
No, and I think it's a good thing because it's there's going to be a lot of people who are going to play it. Now, I think it could turn out to be like the monk, where a lot of people played it initially, and then it kind of died off. I don't see as many monks, especially brewmasters anymore. But I think this class, you'll have your people who play it that think it's hot, the new hotness, and then you'll have people switch back to their old classes just because they like it better.
Yeah.
So you'll have a limited amount of people actually playing this, and I think that's good.
This is the first class that has come out that has made me consider switching off
From your
my
rogue?
main. Yeah, I've played my
Wow.
rogue for 10 years as
That's
my main.
that's impressive.
I've never played another class. Like, I have alts, but they are alts, and they were never considered to be anything other than alts to me. I log on them and maybe level whatever. Like, I get them up to a certain point. None of my I have like one other max level alt right now, and it's a druid. I have an alliance rogue and a horde rogue, whatever. But I don't play the alliance rogue very much. I intended to for a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. The druid, I don't really do anything on. The purpose of leveling my druid was to get more chances at getting like cosmetic loot out of like the world events, like Brewfest,
Yes.
and things like that, like better chances at getting them out. So that's the whole reason for my alts. That's the only reason my alts exist. So for me to see the Demon Hunter and be like, I'm considering switching my main, that's a huge deal for me. Huge
No,
deal.
I agree. I mean, I'm in a similar boat to you because my druid has basically been my main character since I started. I did take a break from my druid during MOP for a little bit, and I tanked seriously on my warrior. But as soon as this expansion came out, I switched back to my druid. That was home, that was love, and I mean, it's the character I love to play. The abilities we have, and I can heal, DPS, or tank. I get my choice.
Right.
But I'm seriously like the way that tanking, just the transformation looks it's almost like there's stone and stuff going on. It just looks beautiful and amazing all in the same. I can't imagine not even giving it a chance. And it may hook me, I may stay or I may go back to my druid.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to how the class feels. Like, it looks incredible. Like, we saw the video of it in combat, at Gamescom here. But it's going to see how well it comes down to actually playing.
That charge is just awesome looking. And to be able to use it multiple times.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You imagine, especially for a tanking spec, you can charge to multiple targets if somebody, pulls aggro by accident.
Yep.
It's going to make a big difference in saving somebody.
Now, the thing that has me worried the most about this expansion pack is, in fact, the artifact items.
Okay, why are you worried about this? This is I have to hear.
Well, so we're getting these weapons, right, that are like the best, most amazing weapons you can possibly have in this game. Where do you go from there?
And I didn't think of it in that light. I think you guys all know by now, I'm a Tyrion Fordring junkie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to see Ashbringer and, just to know I could have a complete set and be that badass from Wrath. But you're right. Where do you go?
Right.
Do we
do
upgrade
you
those
keep
weapons?
Ashbringer forever? Like, do you never have another weapon as far as this game goes? Or, like, can you always cosmetically change your weapon to look like Ashbringer no matter what it is? Like, that's the reason why we didn't have legendary transmogs. Because they wanted you to continue to upgrade and have newer weapons and always find something that's better. But if everybody started transmogging to look like Illidan's Warglaves, like, you would never wear another set of swords.
No. And the Warglaves, like legendary wise, then is this the replacement for the legendary system? Are we going away from the individual, legendaries of old and everybody gets a legendary now?
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know where they go from here because it's going to be a big question when this expansion comes to an end. Because by the time this expansion's over, everybody is going to have a fully upgraded Ashbringer if you're a paladin. You're going to have that weapon completed, but how do you advance from there? I don't have any idea. Do we come out with new artifact weapons and it's another, questing storyline when the new expansion comes out after this?
I don't know. Like that's the only thing that has me worried. Like, yeah, this is cool and all, but I'm thinking ahead to the future. Like because if you hit the peak,
Well, and
you're
that's the
only going to go
thing.
down from there.
And here's the question. Now that Hearthstone and Destiny and HOTS are so successful, and Overwatch beta coming probably around, I would say, mid-September, maybe a little later. But I mean, you're looking at all those games that are generating lots of cash flow for Blizzard. Are we seeing the beginning of the end where they're going to wind this game down and look to the future?
I don't think so. I think they have a very long way to go with this game, but you know, we'll see. This is definitely not the last expansion. I'll put it
No,
that way.
no. And don't anybody take my comments as WoW is dead. WoW is not dead.
It's far from it.
Far from it. WoW is going to spike back probably to 10 million, if not more, subscribers when this expansion releases.
Easily.
I think by the next quarter, we'll probably be back near the 7.5 mark from 5.6 we stand right now. But yeah, I mean, weapons, they're beautiful. Like the ability to upgrade your weapon and turn it into anything you want. Not anything you want, but into the different, like the Ashbringer, the lightning one, and the fire one. They look beautiful. They look amazing. So I mean, that's just crazy. How is that going to work? Because this is my only concern for these weapons. Are they going to come out, and are we going to be into a cookie cutter build where you have to have the fire Ashbringer if you want to be proper DPS, and you are going to be in the top percentage of players who are DPSing in World of Logs? Is
Right.
that going to be something we have to look at?
Yep. I mean, it's
I
going to
mean,
come down to the different stats and stuff that all this, has and they showed a thing where it's basically a talent point system within the weapon tree itself, where you can unlock more abilities and stats and stuff for it.
oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, just like I like how they're utilizing these weapons to send you back to places we've been. The DK, for instance, sending you back to Ice Crown to get the fragments of Frostmourne. That's huge. I mean, you're going to basically rebuild Frostmourne. But the big question about that is Frostmourne still Frostmourne when you rebuild it, or is the corruption gone?
I believe the corruption is gone.
I would believe so because I mean Ashbringer did destroy it and break it in half. So I mean I think this is an amazing way to utilize the old content, send it back. I think they're getting very creative in how they utilize the old stuff, which is very smart because there's a lot of people who love to go back to that stuff.
Right.
Nostalgia is huge.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, because it looks like hunters are going to have to go back to the Sunwell. You're going to have Death Knights have to go back to Ice Crown. And some of these weapons we don't exactly know, like the one that they showed off for the Tauren.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say exactly where you had to go for this. So
No, yeah, and that
there's going to
should
be
be
some
interesting.
weapons that are going to be in completely new areas. I'm sure some that are probably located in the current expansion. Well, not Draenor, but the upcoming Legion.
Yeah.
So that's going to be
So
interesting.
I guess I really want to know what you think about the raid, the Gul'dan raid, because just the picture they showed to me was absolutely beautiful and amazing, and it wasn't the orc setting. It wasn't spikes and red and brown everywhere. It's finally something different.
Yeah. I like variety. I love it. I was actually just talking with our buddy Thadris last night how I think one of my favorite dungeons in all of World of Warcraft was the Throne of the Tides dungeon, and we were talking about how he was so upset that the raid never came to be, and then he's like, I don't know if an underwater raid really would have been, if it would have worked, because look at the underwater zones, but don't forget the underwater dungeon wasn't underwater.
No, it wasn't at all. You're
So
right.
I don't think the raid would have been either. Maybe part of it could have been, maybe traveling between different areas. Maybe you had to swim through something, which would have been cool. But maybe a underwater fight would have been they probably would have done at least one, whatever. But I don't know. I'm really excited. I just like diverse content, and I'm actually more looking forward to the dungeon that's in Neltharion's lair.
Oh, yes.
Because I've been waiting for them to add Neltharion's lair since Burning Crusade, because he had a lair that was supposedly behind the Dark Portal. Not like immediately behind it, but, out a ways. And we never got to see that. And he had one on Azeroth as well. And so now we're at least going to get to see the one on Azeroth, which is going to be kind of cool.
Yeah, and I think it's great because, people who've read The Dawning of the Aspects, it really portrays a whole different light on Neltharion. So I'm really interested to go into his lair and see what he had there and what he was doing, because that's going to paint an entirely different picture than Deathwing. Deathwing was just evil to the core, and he wanted to do whatever he could to destroy the world.
Yep.
So this is going to be a good light side to see of Neltharion.
Yeah. I'm really excited for all the different heroes and villains that they're going to be spotlighting this expansion.
Ashara. Yeah. Everybody's been talking about Ashara.
Yeah.
Oh, Maeve.
We're going to see more of Maeve. We're going to see this guy, Xavius.
Who's Xavius? I don't know who Xavius is.
Xavius once terrorized Azeroth with an affliction that almost obliterated the walls between reality and dream. His machinations ended in defeat, but he had been given another chance at vengeance. Now Xavius leads the conquest of Alshara, where he tainted the World Tree, Shadrasil, spreading the Emerald Nightmare's corruption. With an army of vile satyrs at his command, Xavius will stop at nothing to vanquish all who oppose the Burning Legion. He is the one who corrupted the Emerald Nightmare.
Okay. So, now Ysara is going to be in this expansion. We know that for a fact now with the Emerald Dream.
Mm-hmm.
But, their powers are supposed to be gone. So how does this work?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's going to be very interesting to see where it goes. Especially, now we've got the guy who corrupted the Emerald Dream. So, if we go fight him, do we free her? And I don't know where this is all going to tie in. I don't understand how it's going to all tie in.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure all that out. They're going to have to release more of the story and stuff like that. Looks like Anduin here is going to...
Hey, he doesn't look like a girl anymore.
Yeah, he's growing. He's growing. They're actually, So, looks like he's going to be the king there. We got Tide Mistress Athissa, which is Queen Ashara.
Oh, God. Ashara. People have been clamoring for her for years.
She's not.
So.
Her servants are many... Oh, so this is one of Queen Ashara's assistants. This isn't Queen Ashara.
Okay.
I was misled by the first sentence here. Queen Ashara, the formerly, whatever. Yeah, so she's basically Queen Ashara's right-hand woman.
Woman?
Yes. We have...
Ooh, Greymane.
Yep.
Kind of a big deal to the Worgans. So.
He's the ruler of Gilneas.
Okay, so, do you see the possibility of him fighting to take Gilneas back?
There may be some stuff like that.
I'm very interested to see if they do that, and how that's going to affect the Worgen storyline. Are they going to, if they take it back, are they going to kind of walk away from the Alliance a little bit and kind of do their own thing?
We may see the Gilneans as more of like the Forsaken for the Horde, where the undead they're part of it, but they're kind of separate.
Yes. Now, I have to ask this question before you go through any more characters, because I brought this up last night when we were discussing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the hell is Sylvanas? This is the second expansion. We really haven't seen her, and it doesn't look like she has anything in this one.
She's here. We'll get to her. She's down a couple more characters over. We have Dargrol, the Underking.
Yep.
For centuries, Torn and the Drogbar tribes of the High Mountain lived in peace, but soon after the Legion's arrival, a Drogbar leader named Dargrol, the Underking, destroyed their unity and stole the hammer of Khadgar, a powerful artifact protected by the High Mountain Tauren. Using the terrible power of the hammer, the Underking intends to take controls of High Mountain. So it seems like this is where we're gonna go and fetch another kind of. So there is gonna be artifacts in the current world as well.
Now, tell me, I don't know. To me, he kind of looks druidic, like he's of that area of expertise.
Right.
So yeah, I think you're probably right about that. But it's just the artwork's come such a long ways. There's not a lot of blending of everything like it was in the past. It's very detailed.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, that guy looks amazing.
so knowing that there's content in the current world, like or I should say in the coming world Legion, I feel like for you to go back and do like Shadowmourne and all that stuff, they're gonna have to make like areas that you go in with current, like level 110 content in it. So they're gonna upgrade, beef up like the enemies and stuff in the area to make it all even and fair for everybody. Because if Death Knights have to go through and do level 90 content or 80, what was
80 level 80 for Wrath.
Level 80, pandas, monks, whatever, they're gonna have to go in and do level 90 content.
Well, we have to
Or
take into
85,
account they
whatever
do
it
have
was.
the ability to scale everything down now. I mean, we've seen it through
They could,
the time walking.
but I don't see why they would scale down like this Dargle the Underking stuff.
So are they going to utilize their phasing technology then?
So I think they're
you
gonna
go
have to
in.
phase the rest of the stuff up.
Well, that would make sense. I mean, because like you said, you got to have enemies that you can fight, but you can't let the people who are leveling get destroyed either. So
Yeah.
I think phasing is probably the best way to go with something like that.
We're gonna see more of Khadgar.
I'm really interested in the storyline because I am a huge Jaina fanboy.
The-
I will pronounce my love for her every day of the week. How the hell did he get her position? I don't care how pissed off she is, but something happened, and there's no book to tell me. It's bullshit.
This is kind of throwing my theory out the window that Khadgar is actually Rathian. That theory, I've been holding on to
See,
because
I was thinking Khadgar was a demon, one
Yeah.
of the Burning Legion.
well, Jesse Cox has the popular theory that Jaina is a dreadlord, so maybe
Yes.
if all the leaders are actually, so
So is Khadgar going to turn on us? Is he utilizing the Kirin Tor and he's going to come out of left field and bash us this expansion?
not sure. They showed a lot of the crows and stuff in the opening cinematic,
Yeah.
and that's very reminiscent of Medivh, and they showed Karazhan. I'd be very surprised if Medivh is not involved in this expansion.
Well, I mean, he's got to be in some shape or form. I agree with you. I mean, I guess my big question is why all of a sudden did he take over the Kirin Tor? What is his purpose for moving Dalaran to the Broken Isles? I think it's cool that Dalaran's going to be a hub city again, but there's just so many ways they can go with this. And is Jaina going to fight to get her Kirin Tor back? I guess that's going to be huge
Yeah.
because he's specifically for one reason and one reason only. He's been around us and he wants to kill Gul'dan. Nobody knows why. There's not a lot of history there that we've been told, but he wants to kill Gul'dan, and he's kind of got that Jaina mentality during her book where she wanted to wipe out Orgrimmar, where she summoned all the water elementals and was sending them straight to Orgrimmar. So Gul'dan and Khadgar are going to have some epic throwdown, I think, during the raid, and I think that's when we're going to find out the ultimate thing going on.
Yep. And then we have Gul'dan still alive now in our timeline. In Azeroth, things are gonna get a little crazy with that. I can't wait to see how that all ends up playing out. So here's Sylvanas. This is what you were waiting for.
Yes.
It says the Forsaken's ruthless leader is a formidable champion of her people, but with the Burning Legion's invasion, the stakes of the Dark Lady have never been higher. Should Sylvanas perish, her demise will be the beginning of her eternal damnation. All that stand between her and this doom are her Valkyr. Yet few of these spirit guardians remain. As her fate edges closer to the abyss, Sylvanas must decide how far she'll go to protect her people, and whether or not they're more precious to her than her soul. So we are going to see a lot of internal conflict with Sylvanas this expansion. We're going to see a lot more story from her.
Isn't her sister? The one of them's missing. Valinir. Isn't that one of the sisters, the three?
Um, yeah, I believe so.
So, I mean, I think that's where I think that's where the conflict's going to start. But I think part of the conflict will be with the Forsaken. I think we might get some tie into the Wrathgate storyline now, with her coming back. And I hope we get to see a lot of her because she's definitely a fan favorite, and I've always liked her storyline, like the dungeon and Wrath, where she's just chasing Arthas down. She doesn't care. She's headlong running into battle. She wants to kill Arthas. So I would like to see more of her crazy antics.
Yep. And then we have Illidan Stormrage. After the fall of the Black Temple, the corpse of the Lord of Outland, Illidan Stormrage, disappeared. No one knows the true fate of Illidan's remains, but legend holds that Warden Maeve Shadowsong took his broken body to the Vault of the Wardens so that Illidan's dark, lingering soul could suffer the rest of eternal sentence along with his followers and feared Illidari, justice to be forever served.
So he went to the Wardens took him. And the Wardens had obviously been a big part of Warlords, following through the storyline with Khadgar. But if she took his body away, how did he end up encased in? Was that within the Warden's thing where he was, locked up by the Burning Legion because Sargeras controls that place?
I'm not sure.
Because that's I just don't see how that works. If the Wardens took him there, but was Sargeras' thing, and then that's where the Burning Legion came from. Who's controlling what, and are the Wardens really on our side?
That is a good question. That is a good question. We don't really have much to go off of right now. So
No, well, I tried to look last night, as I was laying on the couch. Christine Golden usually does all the books prior to an expansion.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot find anything, not even a rumor, on the internets, and the internets don't lie.
Surprisingly, this expansion was not leaked in
No.
any capacity.
No, there's not even she's not writing a book now that I know of, but she's been the one who's done all the books for the expansion. So is she writing one and we just don't know yet, and we're going to get it maybe at BlizzCon?
I don't know. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more story between now and then, but we're going to get the most of it, I think, at BlizzCon.
I think so, too. I think we're going to see a lot.
Because they have not announced any release dates of any sort yet. They showed some box art here.
Which is absolutely amazing. If this is what the standard box looks like, I can't wait to see the collector's edition.
Collector's edition box is going to be awesome. So,
Oh, man,
and
I'm
it
so
says character
stoked.
boost, immediately raise one character to level 100.
Okay, so does that mean they're gonna the $60 service that you can get in the cash shop? Is that gonna change to 100 or is that gonna stay 90? I don't.
I would assume it is going to change along with this.
Now I don't know, and I can't find a lot of information on this. I really would like to see what the stats are for the amount of people actually buying this, ding to now going to be 100. I wish we could, we knew how many people were actually utilizing this.
Yeah. It'd be nice.
I mean, you heard me the other day. How tempted was I just to ding to 90 on my pally?
Yeah, pretty close.
You talked me out of it, though.
Yeah, be glad you didn't.
Oh, yeah, I know now, right?
Mm-hmm. So, with that, we have a video question that was submitted to us. Oops. By the one and only Jake Nader.
Jake, good old Jake Nader.
Salutations, serious gentlemen in gaming. This is I, Jaina, and I have some breaking news for you guys. Remember how I managed to break into the Matrix during my Bell Talk videos? Well, I've done it again. I have cracked the code, and I have found out the next expansion already. Today is Wednesday, so it's one day before the news. And I'm telling you, it's mind-blowing. I can go on for hours talking about the lore, about everything. So if you need anything, call me up on Skype. But I have kept you waiting long enough. The next expansion is... The next expansion is classified. You have to wait for everybody else. Don't worry, he will respawn soon. Oh, 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 shit, my head. What happened? Wait, what time is it? Oh, hell no. I missed it. Oh well, you already know the expansion by now. So what do you think of it? And if you need anything lore-wise or anything to connect the dots, give me a call. I'm the law specialist, and you know it. I need some aspirin. My head hurts.
So, I mean, now that's all said and done, and we're not as overwhelmed as we were initially when we started this. What's your opinion on this?
First, I have to say I hope Jake is okay because it looks like he got hit pretty hard.
He did. Hopefully he got that aspirin.
Yeah, I hope so. I can tell you I haven't been this excited for an expansion in a long time. I was really stoked when Kata came out. It wasn't all I dreamed of, but it wasn't a bad expansion either. This really stokes a fire under me to continue to play this game and to experience the new class, especially, I'm really curious about the artifact weapons, and then, of course, raiding. We'll raid, and we'll raid some more. It's just Illidan and all the characters they're bringing back is really going to make a huge difference over WoD, I think. And I think we have a lot more content already lined up than we got in Warlords. So I can't say enough about how excited I am. I mean, I would jump up and down and be a big girl if I could, but that probably wouldn't look proper on stream.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is the Legion kind of expansion that I wanted. More so that I wasn't too excited with Burning Crusade. I liked the story of it, but the zones didn't impress me too much. And Draenor felt a little better to me because it felt less alien. Like the planet looked normal, like a normal place, where Outland and the Burning Crusade I didn't feel like Warcraft to me. It was so weird. So
well, I mean, it was completely like just the twisting nether in between. It was broken up, and it was Area 52. If you flew across, it was just different. It wasn't a standard like I'm going to go to this beautiful zone and I'm going to kill things.
Yep.
So I like the Bright Pretty. Nagrand in this expansion was really amazing. I had a good time in Nagrand. Probably the best leveling experience I had for this expansion was there. So,
yep.
Man, I just don't know what to say. There's so much. I mean, like I told you, I took 3 pages of notes, and there's so much to look at and so much to talk about. It's going to be amazing. And, like I said, I think we're going to really see 10 million plus easily.
Mm-hmm.
Will we break the record of 12 million? I'm not sure.
Maybe. I don't know.
we could.
Like, Illidan is a fan favorite, so I see this Illidan and Arthas. They're like the two big names right now in Warcraft. So, if they can't bring Arthas back, they sure as hell brought Illidan back.
Well, yeah, I mean, Illidan is back, so next expansion is the possibility of an Arthas return?
I doubt it. Work? I mean, next time we revisit the Frozen Throne, it's going to be Bolvar. So
yes, Bolivar will be there. You're 100% correct. He's just sitting waiting.
I think we're still maybe at least one more expansion after Legion before they even think about bringing Bolvar back.
So, well, he's chilling.
Literally.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's about it. You got anything else you want to discuss, Taryn?
No, I'm excited, like I said. I know you're excited, and I think we've got a good start to move forward and look forward to get away from what WoD turned out to be.
Yep. I would like to announce this Sunday at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time will be brand new World of Warcraft Podcast by Serious Gentlemen Gaming. So expect to see that. We will have more information for you soon. Stay tuned on our Twitter, all that for everything. And yeah, I think that about does it. Taryn, where can the people find you?
Please follow me at Taryn23 on Twitter. I am also on Twitch at Taryn23 also. Hit me up if you have any comments, questions. I'll do my best to answer them. And if not, I'll refer you to Zista.
Excellent. You can find me down there at XIZTA with an underscore at the end. You could also follow me on Twitch without the underscore. And make sure to follow us and others on WordPress or seriousgents.wordpress.com. Serious Gents on Twitter, and Serious Gents on YouTube. I think that's about it. So, until next time. See you guys later.
Have a great day.